Today I felt like coming out here to nature to talk and cleanse my energy and center myself and ground myself once more because I have been processing a lot of negative energy that does not come from me, it has come from people from my life. And I have been transmuting this energy as of recently, like very, very recently. It has weighed on me a little too much. Today, the trees were calling to me to come out here and make a video because you don't owe your family an explanation as to how you choose to live your own life. And if you're like me, maybe you can relate to living outside society's expectations. And if you're creative, you can understand that the 9 to 5 lifestyle or the capitalistic way of living in survival mode, like that shit don't work. That shit don't work for us. And we rather experience unemployment, and we rather take certain sacrifices for our dreams and for living a fulfilling life instead of conforming to everyone's expectations of us and what was expected from us since we were children because of the world that we were born into and how it's set up and how everyone around us has apparently fallen for the illusion and fallen for the facade of this reality and felt forced to succumb to it or conform to it out of survival. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that necessarily. A lot of what's normal for most people and most families, especially if you fall into like a Hispanic family like I do. I come from Mexico, and I experience what it's like to have traditional Mexican family. So for us, like in my generations, past generations, my ancestors they went through poverty, extreme poverty, to the point where they had to force their kids to work at a very young age. Like my dad, he started working when he was 7, and I think my grandpa started working when he was 4 years old, just to be able to provide basic needs for their family. And I'm not surprised that these beliefs have been pushed onto me. And of course, like everyone around me has expected so much because that's just what happens. Like when a baby comes into the picture, everyone's expectations of like their own dreams get pushed onto the baby, and really high hopes of, oh, I just wish that you do so much better than me, and I hope that you would do so much better than me. I really believe that you can accomplish the dreams that you want for your life as long as they're realistic. And I think that has been something that I have been carrying for a long time, and I'm ready to say that I no longer owe anybody anything, not even an explanation as to what I'm doing towards my career or what I'm doing to access success for myself. Because what I realize is that the life that I'm living and experiencing is totally different than any life that any of my ancestors and any of my current family members have experienced so far. And I mean, for a long time, I've been used to being different. I've been used to like being judged, criticized. I grew up with jealousy around me. I didn't, even though I didn't see it in the beginning, or I didn't really understand why anybody would be jealous of me, because I had my own insecurities. Yeah, like it's getting to the point where I just don't really care about what my family thinks of me or what they expect from me or the advice that they're willing to give, because very recently I experienced one of my family members. Like, we were very randomly talking about how I used to be as a kid and how I used to love to connect with everyone, even if I didn't know them. I would tell my mom, like, let me go play with those kids. And my mom would be like, but you don't even know them. And I'd be like, it doesn't matter. They'll get to know me. right now. And that's just how I feel like we all are as kids, you know? Like we're not held back by any limiting beliefs because we don't have them yet. And I was a very go lucky girl when I was little. My family member, she said like, "What happened?" You know? Like what happened to that little girl? Like, and I was just like, I mean, I grew up. Like it's not that deep. Like I grew up. And randomly she just told me that she thinks I'm insecure. And I was like, I'm not insecure. And she was like, yes, you are. And I was just like baffled because I was like, I just did not expect for somebody to say something like that to me, especially a family member that is pretty close to me and that I grew up with. And it was like, it made me feel some type of way. It definitely triggered something in me because I started to shake a little bit. Like my body started to react in fight or flight mode. And I felt hot and my heart started to beat fast. And I was just wondering while we like switched the conversation to something else. And you know, she was talking to my other family members. And even though I was actively there and I was actively listening to the conversation they were having, I just couldn't understand why she would even say that about me. And I wanted to ask her, like, what makes you see this about me, or what makes you perceive this about me? And so eventually I waited for the right time to come, and I asked her in front of my other family members. Um, I asked her, I was like, what? I'm just so curious to understand why you think I'm insecure, or why do you perceive me that way, or what do you see that maybe I don't see? She was a little taken back. I don't think she was expecting me to like ask a little more about that because I was like, why don't you expand on that? Like, I would like to know because if it's something maybe that I don't see, maybe I could work on that, or maybe it's just like a projection. Like I just needed to know because it was really tugging at me and my cords were strong. She was like, "Oh no, like don't take it in a personal way or anything, but it's just like look at yourself." And I was like, "Oh." And but she was like, "Look at yourself. Like you had all these expectations about your life. You had all of these things that you wanted to do, but you still haven't done them. Like the evidence is not evidencing." Is basically what she was saying. And I was just like, "Okay. I mean, I can understand why you may think that because in my physical reality, I don't look the typical cookie cutout type of way of moving towards success. Like, I don't have a 9 to 5. I don't work a corporate job. I've been self-employed for the past 2 years. I haven't bought a house. I don't have a man. I don't have kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still have my car from when I was 18. I don't have savings. Like, it's been a little bit of a challenge over the past couple of years since I've chosen to live this life that I want. I just told her like, yeah, I understand that my choices look different to you and you may not understand why I do the things that I do, but that doesn't mean I'm insecure. I used to be insecure when I was a teenager up until in my early 20s, very recently, that I started to work on myself and really make those shifts for myself because I understood that I could embody the person that I wanted to be if I just chose to. And overcoming all of these obstacles, all of these programs that have been forced upon me since a little girl is not easy. Like it took me very, very long to get to where I am right now. But yeah, she just started to talk down on me, even though she might not see it that way. I felt it in my core. I'm very sensitive to energy. And when she was telling me these things, I didn't feel anything good. Even though she was saying, like, I'm just saying this from the bottom of my heart. Like, I care about you and I worry about you sometimes because I don't see you doing good. I was like, okay, interesting observation to have because you literally don't even know me like that. And it's not like we even talk that much. But from what she was saying, like, from the things that we have talked about before, she says she's concerned about me because she thinks that I'm not doing well in life. And it's like, bro, like, I've experienced way too much in this life to know that I just don't feel safe telling you everything. A lot of what I do is very sacred to me. And I just don't feel the need to be telling people my business that don't want to speak life into me, that don't want to support me, that don't want to believe in me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I rather just keep that information to myself because it's so sacred. I do not need anybody's opinion or energy coming towards me about the decisions that I'm making in my life. I do not need any evil eye. So for me to protect my energy and protect myself from evil eye, I got to keep certain things secret. And that's just the way that I chose to live my own life. It might not be the way that you would like it to be. I imagine that my family members still want to get to know me and they want me to like spill the beans about what I'm trying to do and all of this stuff. But I just learned over the years that they don't believe in me and they don't trust that I'm actually going to go out there and accomplish the dreams that I have because, they don't believe in themselves and they don't believe in the dreams that they once had. They have thrown those dreams away and now they're projecting onto me to keep me safe and protect me and make sure that I stay realistic and I follow a plan B or a backup plan. It's like, baby, you can only put so much energy into something, and I choose to put all of my energy into the things that I actually want in my life rather than focusing on the plan B. Because when you focus on the plan B and you give all of your energy to the plan B out of safety, out of comfort, out of scarcity and fear, your plan B is going to be the one that's going to come into fruition rather than your plan A. But yeah, it just made me reflect a lot on her perspective of me, and it made me really sad to think that that's how she perceived my life, as not doing well. Like, she saw me as not being successful or that I wasn't going anywhere. But it's like, girl, you don't even know what I be up to behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I want to preach today and I want to talk today that you don't owe your family an explanation about the life that you choose to live. You don't owe anybody an explanation, especially the people that don't want to believe in you and that project their own fears and their own anxieties about you. They don't need to know all of that. I unfortunately took it a step forward because, after that family member left, I was left with my parents, and my dad wanted to know about why I wasn't going to pursue this other business that I had going on for a long time, this other business idea that I had going on for a long time. And I was still thinking about pursuing it because, again, I wanted to get out of the working a corporate job. I wanted to, even though I've been self employed, I still work as an independent contractor for a company that is corporate. So I wanted to get out of that. I want to be self sustainable. I wanted to be on my own, like officially. And even though like you can never get out of the system because I mean we live in America, right? It's like I really wanted to be more independent and I wanted to, if I had to make money, then I would like to make money the way that I prefer to, in the way that makes me happy, in the way that makes me feel fulfilled with my own life. Hi, hi, I'm not just like landed on my leg. And out of desperation, out of wanting to rush things, and even though with my relationship with God, like I knew God was telling me like, hey, just take it one step at a time. You're doing great, you're doing amazing, sweetie. Just keep doing what you're doing and try not to rush it so much. Try not to figure it out so much. Try not to always seek for the answers and always know what's going to happen next, because The lesson here is to make you feel comfortable with the unknown and to make you feel comfortable with being uncomfortable and learning how to trust yourself and just know, because how else are you going to be able to really accomplish the things that you want to accomplish if you don't trust yourself, if you don't know yourself? You know what I mean? I could receive all of these opportunities that I've been asking for so long. I could receive tomorrow the money that I've been asking for so long. But if I hadn't really learned the lessons that help me stay consistent, that help me stay disciplined, that help me stay grounded in myself and knowing myself and trusting myself and knowing that I have that emotional stability with myself, how am I going to really be able to handle these other opportunities and this large amount of money that I want if I don't have the foundation built strongly first? So that's what has been important to me. Like the inner work has been the work I have been doing for the past 5 years. And that's the work that nobody sees. That's the work that happens behind the scenes and behind closed doors that nobody ever knows. Because I'm I'm basically a lone wolf. You know, I have maybe three people that are really close to me, and for me that is sufficient. You know what I mean? Like that's more than enough at this point because I've always just been alone and I've always just been independent on my own. Even when I was living with my family, I was just always left alone and I grew on my own and I learned everything I know on my own. I got so confident to the point where I can do this right here, right now. And I can say that I'm very proud of myself and I'm very grateful for all the lessons that God has taught me to get me to this point, and that God continues to teach me to get to the next, whatever's next. But that it's just I'm not even really concerned about that right now. Just living moment to moment is key. But I took it a step forward because I felt like I was being judged. And with my parents, you know, my dad, he was telling me like, why did you stop doing this? Why didn't you continue it? Like you have to do it now. You have to decide on what you want to do. Like you can't just change your mind all the time because the time is going to run by fast. Time goes by quickly, and you don't have enough time to be contemplating what you want to do and what you don't want to do. Like, you need to just go, 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 go. I was just like, bro, like, just let me be. Like, let me just grow at my own pace. Let me just figure this out on my own. Like, you don't know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing either. So why am I going to take advice from you when you haven't even explored the opportunities that I'm creating for myself? And you haven't really explored the expansion of the mind like I have. You're just trying to give me advice from a space of fear. And I see right through it now. Like, I have done so much inner work to the point where that stuff don't even face me anymore. Like, yeah, in the moment it don't feel good. It don't feel good to hear from the people that gave birth to you, that literally raised you, on how to do the things that you're trying to figure out how to do, and then they give you bad advice thinking that they're caring for you, thinking that they're protecting you, thinking that they're just doing their job as a parent, you know, trying to keep it realistic with you. It's like, damn, that should be heavy sometimes. Like, it just don't feel good for real. But at this point it's like it's not a big deal. Like, I really got used to that, and that, you know, I ended up showing them what I've been working on as of lately, because I've been working on some sketchings. Like, I sketch my drawings, and I have been working on creating them into prints so that I could sell them and create like a sacred sketching shop. And because I felt like I needed to prove myself, like I needed to show them evidence as to what I was working on, I showed them my sacred drawings and I showed them my sacred channelings is what I call them, because for me these are downloads from God and they're very, very sacred to me. They have very sacred meanings. Every single drawing has a meaning to them and an energy and a power to them, because I blessed them with my energy. But I showed them to my dad and he was not impressed at all. Like, he's kind of a conservative religious man, so it's not, well, he doesn't really believe in religion, but it's weird because he kind of like still has the mentality of religious theology, but he was not impressed at all, and he didn't really like my drawings, and I just felt like, damn, why am I even showing you this? And I showed my mom, and my mom's reaction is a little bit different, a little more like supportive, but not really. And so when I finished showing them my drawings, I was just like, bro, like, what did I just do? I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to go and prove myself of the work that I've been putting into for my future. Like, they don't need to know any of this stuff. They truly, truly don't, because at the end of the day, they don't even believe in me, and they don't even. They think eventually I'll snap out of it. I'm pretty sure they think eventually I would just get a regular job and live my life like everybody else's. And that's just not the case. Like, I'm really about this shit. But I showed them my sacred drawings, and I kind of regretted it because I just planted a seed in them, in their brain. And like, I had to take the time afterwards to transmute this energy and to pray over my drawings and my art, and ask God to protect it, because the last thing I want is for my family to send me evil eye and to send me um their own projections of their own insecurities into my energy. And I unfortunately, like, that's the case. And it's been the case for some time now, and I just had no idea, because I'm an empath and I like to think the best in people. But sometimes, like, reality do be hitting me upside the head, and I just be like, damn, like, I really can't trust that my family is gonna support me, and I can't really trust that my family is gonna keep the information that I give them sacred, because they just don't know how to do that. They don't know how to do that for themselves. And it is really unfortunate, but it's okay, because I have my chosen family, and I have people in my life that do believe in me, and I have people in my life that support me, and they understand the struggle, and they understand what it is like to live outside society's expectations, and that is enough for me. Their support is enough for me, and my own support as well. Like, that is enough for me. Like, if I didn't have them, I'm good. I'm good. Like, I really worked on myself, and I really worked on my relationship with God, to the point where it's just so unwavering. My discernment is so unwavering that nobody can trample on my dreams, and nobody can stop me but me. I'm the only one that can stop me. So if you're finding yourself in a situation like this, where you feel like you have to prove to other people that what you're doing is the right path, or you have to prove people by showing them your work or showing them like evidence, I'm here to tell you that you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You don't need to prove anybody anything. You only need to prove yourself that you can do this, and that you can strive for the greater things in life, and that you can strive for a higher level of consciousness and higher consciousness living. That's a hella weird sound over there. What even is that? I hope it's a bird or something. Oh, okay. You can do anything that you put your mind into, even if it takes you years. It doesn't matter. Even if you're broke as shit, don't claim it. Your spirit, energy, knowledge is real wealth in this life. And if you feel happy with your own life, if you feel fulfilled with the way you are pursuing your own life, then you don't need to change that just because somebody else told you that that's not what success looks like, or that's not what happiness looks like. Especially if it comes from a person that is miserable, especially if it comes from a person that can't even see their own shadow, can't even take accountability for hurting others, can't even take accountability for their own mistakes. They got way too much work to do, honey, to be out here telling you what you should do and what you shouldn't do with your own life. Unfortunately, sometimes we just got to keep it to ourselves, because this journey is sacred. It is so sacred, but it is highly protected by the divine. And unfortunately, it makes me want to take a step back from connecting with my family, but that's okay. Because honestly, like, what's new? What's new, girl? Not much. Same old shit. So continue giving into yourself, continue loving yourself, and one day, honey, you will reap the things that you sow.